Today, we're going to be talking about why and how to easily use video in your business. Valerie Pugsley here, Inspired Strategic Solutions. I do coaching and consulting for marketing and mindset. Earlier today, I did a presentation at the networking meeting that I attend. And so the things that I'm going to share here are things that you can use if maybe you do direct sales working from home. Maybe you are some kind of a service provider, chiropractor, photographer, organizer, something like that. These are things that you can implement to help you get in front of more people and maximize some things that you're already doing without a whole lot of extra effort. But first you have to be convinced why it's important. So we're going to cover that. And this is also going to end up being a replay over on YouTube as well. So if you're coming in later, please post any questions below, and I will come back and answer those for you. Well, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So one of the reasons why you want to use video, sorry, stuttering here. Perfect example, right? This isn't perfect, okay? Yes, I can edit it before I put it in YouTube if I want, or just leave it there, okay, right? We're human beings. Just go with it. So one of the reasons is connection. We get to know a person when we can see them and hear their voice and hear their inflections, their voice inflections, see how they move things. We make a connection. So even though, unless I happen to see you come up in the stream, it's a little hard for me to connect with you right now, especially if you're watching the replay, you're still getting a connection with me. Another way is to leverage it. So I already talked about how right now I'm recording this live in Facebook, but I can later download this and then I can upload it to YouTube. I can also then add it to my blog or my website. So even if you have a website without a blog, you still can add it as content on your website to help answer questions for people who might come along. I can then share it on other forms of social media. So I could share it on Twitter, I could share it LinkedIn. If you want to get real into it, you can start taking it apart, but I don't want to go there. There's so many more things. You can also use it in email, which I'm a huge fan of doing email, but that's another video. So as you can see, just some real simple ways to just record a quick video. I'm just using my laptop. I did just buy a new camera. That's a USB camera plugged into my laptop to get a little bit better picture. $40. Not a big deal. You can also just use your phone, right? As long as the people can hear you, that's the most important thing. So another reason to use video in your business is that people like it. With the way society is going, a lot of people would rather watch a video than read something. And the algorithms like it. So all the different social media platforms run on algorithms and decide what they're going to show to the people. Video is something that they're really looking for, especially like Facebook is really looking for it. So right now, anytime you're live on Facebook, they're going to give your video and your page more reach than they would if you just did a plain post. Another is longevity. Now, not as much on Facebook, excuse me, although somewhat. The boost and oomph that you get from a Facebook video does last a little bit longer than a regular post. But the thing is like I said, you could download this video and then upload it onto YouTube. And I had some pictures that I showed. I won't be able to show it to you here live. Maybe when I put it up on YouTube, I can edit some of those. I can definitely put the links to it. I'll put the links to it either in the description or as a comment down below. But I have one video that I did 2.5 years ago that has over 3,000 views. And every week, every month, it continues to be the top earning video with the views. It gets the most views. I have another tutorial that I did about 3 years ago, and it's got 700 or 600 views. I have some other ones that are a little bit newer, 3 months and 6 months, and they only have 33 views. Now, you might think 33 views, that's not very much, especially if you follow some people on YouTube who maybe have, thousands of views. But look at it from the view of a small business owner. As a small business owner or service provider, would you like a room of 33 people that you can talk to and educate about your business or why they need your service? That's what you have the opportunity to do with video. Of course, you have to be careful how you go about it. You don't want it just to be all salesy. It has to have some value in and of itself, kind of like this video does, right? I'm giving you an education of why these things are important. So hopefully it's going to motivate you and spur you on to start implementing it in your business. So what kind of things would you do videos about? People go, I don't know what to do video about. Well, I mentioned it there. I told everybody FAQs and asked them if they all knew what it meant, and they did. Frequently asked questions, right? So whatever you're doing, whether you're selling a product or you have a service that you provide, you have certain questions that you get asked over and over and over again. Do a video about those, right? And if it's over and over again that you're getting asked it, this is something that we would call evergreen content, meaning it's going to be good a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now. You know, think of an evergreen tree, right? It continues to go on. Unlike, for example, in the social media realm, there's some things that change, and like Facebook changes all the time and Google algorithms change all the time. So there are technical things that can be changing all the time. But there's some things that are tried and true. One that I talk about is KLT, know, like, and trust. We still do business with people we know, like, and trust. We learn about them a little bit differently now. Yes, we still learn face-to-face, but we can also learn via the internet, right? But we still are going to do business people with know, like, and trust. So that doesn't change. Another thing that you can do videos about is recent scenarios. So maybe you had a session with a client and something in there happened. Well, you can share about that. Of course, you don't want to share the client's name or anything like that. You may even want to disguise it depending on who's likely to see the videos so they wouldn't recognize them. But you can still take the general situation or the general principle of the situation and share that, because that's relevant and pertinent now. And guess what? If it happened with one person, it very likely can happen with another person. So those are some of the main things that you can record on. Actually, there was one woman that I was talking to, and she has a class that she's promoting. Now, she's done this class twice before, and she's gotten very interesting results from the students. And when she starts sharing about that, boy, you can just see her light up, and you can see the passion that she has for these students in this class. That's something that it's hard to convey in words. Now, she doesn't want to do video, and a lot of people don't like to do video, and I get that. We don't like how we look on camera, and our initial videos we're probably not going to like anyway. But guess what? If it's really bad, you can always delete it. And if you don't have a lot of people following you initially, probably no one's going to see it. So it's okay. But anyway, so my encouragement to her was, she's a photographer doing a class, just to get her phone out. And, you know, if you go to a networking event or you're all dressed up one day, just do it that day and go someplace where you have kind of a nice background. Just check. I always do check. Here's a tip for you. I was going to do some tools, but we'll go ahead and get into the tips real quick. So one of the tips is I always check my background before I go live. So if I'm just using my phone, I'll hit camera and flip it around and see what it looks like. Same thing on my laptop. I'll just flip the camera on real quick, make sure everything looks okay here and behind me as well. But again, just flip it out on a day when you're dressed up and record. I actually was talking to somebody today. He's a chiropractor and he rides bikes. And he says he thinks a lot about things when he's riding. So when he gets to his end destination, he's got a lot of creative juices going on around his business and how to help people. So that would be perfect time to record it. People like to know about us behind the scenes. What are we doing when we're not working? So it's all good. Just don't overthink it. Just start hitting record. And if you would like to join me on Beta, please do. I'll have a link somewhere, depending on where you're watching this, to the Beta. I'm doing it with a community called SSS Beta. It's nice doing it with a community because then you get some extra support that way. And I was able to grow my channel pretty significantly the last time, so I was pleased enough with it to do it again. There's two other things. If you're doing it outside, watch out for wind, because that can really interfere with your microphone. If you feel wind coming at you, most likely it's going to be affecting your microphone depending on where your microphone is. So watch your microphone and protect it from wind. I've seen a lot of videos that they weren't paying enough attention to that and you just couldn't hear it, so people don't want to watch that. And then the other thing is have bullet points. Now originally when I first started doing videos, I scripted it all out and practiced it and had it all professional, but I found that it took a while to get the energy and the momentum going and felt kind of fake at first. So I would say talk about things that you know about and just have your bullet points so that you can stay on track. Now I'm also going to put some links again somewhere depending on where you're watching this to a couple of pieces of equipment that you might want to consider. It's nothing expensive. You can of course get some other things too. I'll put a couple things even that I don't have, but I see a lot of people and they're kind of on my shopping list. So I'll share with you this camera that I got. It's a Logitech camera. Logitech's a great brand and it was only $40. And then I have a lavalier mic. I'm not using that right now. I'm just using the microphone that came with this camera. So hopefully it's good. I haven't checked that yet. We'll find out. I hope it's good. Otherwise, I'll have to do this video again. And guess what? You know what? If you have to do it again, it'll be better the second time around anyway. But I use the lavalier a lot if I'm going to be out, like if I'm going to be using my phone and I'm going to be walking outside. I'll usually take the lavalier just because there's, so many other noises outside. Or if I'm in a room doing a presentation, I'll use the lavalier that way. But I think it's only like $20, nothing expensive. The other things that you might want to consider, and these are things that are on my shopping list, and I'll get some links for those as well, is there's something called a ring light that you can put on your phone. So if you're in situations where you need a little bit better lighting, you can use that. And then the other thing would be it's a lens, some kind of a lens that you put on your camera. So when you're doing your camera, you're like way out here, and if you get real close, it's the lens is something that you can put over your phone, just over the camera on the phone, so that if you're using that front-facing camera, you can get a little closer, and it's not like you're in their face, right? I don't know enough about technology or cameras to tell you that. It's just something that a lot of people use who really get into video. So I'll put those down there, and I think there's some inexpensive options for those. So those are a couple things to get started, but really you can just get started with your phone and your laptop. And if you go back and look on my channel, especially on my YouTube channel, all the videos that I did in August, they were all either done on my phone or with my laptop. It's just now that I'm upgrading to this camera and it's only like $40, right? So I hope you find these things helpful. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below and I will get to them. Depending on when you put the comments, it might take a day or so. I am a solopreneur, so little grace there. I hope you'll join me for Veda. If video is something that you want to do, that challenge to get going and see how many you can get out for the month of August. And I hope you join me in watching the videos that I produce and give me a thumbs up if you like them. Make sure you subscribe to both my Facebook channel and my YouTube channel and turn on the notifications so you'll see when new videos come up. And if you can give them a thumbs up, that would be super helpful to me, because that will tell Facebook and YouTube that it's of value. And if you like it and watch it and want to comment on it or share it, I appreciate that as well. So I will talk to you all later. Bye for now.